Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today I am talking about knit fabrics. So I give you my top 5 favorite knit fabrics. If you have not checked that video, go check it out where I tell you what my top 5 are and why. But today I'm doing a top 5 part 2. So we're going to go over some other fabrics that I love to sew with. I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to show you what I've made with them. I'm going to tell you what you can make with them, and I'm going to tell you why I love them. So let's get started. Alright friends, so let's start with this lovely crossover top that I'm wearing today. This top is made with a faux alpaca. So as you can see, this fabric is super soft and super cozy. This fabric is really actually one of my top coziest favorite fabrics. It is brushed, so it's got like this feeling of like fuzzy softy on the outside, and then the inside is just like basically like a sweater knit where it's woven. It is super stretchy. It's got 4-way stretch. I love that. Here's some of the stretch. I want to show it to you. So it's great for tons of different patterns. I love using it for tops because it's super soft, but it's also super drapey. So if you hold it up, I'm gonna show you, it just drapes really nicely. It is cozy and warm, but it's not super hot. So if you're in a really cold area, you would probably still want to layer it. But if you're in an area like mine that doesn't get super hot, I mean super cold, it does get super hot. It doesn't get super cold, you can get by wearing this fabric as your, main layer when it's cold. It does fuzz out, so when you wash it, as you can see here, because I've already washed this one a couple times, because of its brushed texture, it does kind of have fuzzies a lot, but I haven't had an issue with it peeling, but it might be something that will happen eventually. I have a high hopes dolman made out of this fabric that I've had for a couple years, and I just wash it like regular on the washing machine, and I haven't had any issues with it. I love it. It's almost like a little bit of a faded look, also because it is a brushed fabric. And you will find that with a lot of fabrics. If they are brushed, you will find that they'll have that fuzzy kind of texture wherever they're brushed, if they're brushed on the inside or the outside or whatnot. I love this fabric. All right, next I've got another sweater knit. Now this next one is called Hassi or Hassi. I'll put a spelling here next to me because I'm not the best at saying these names. Anyway, whatever it's called, this one is another sweater knit. It is very comparable to the faux alpaca. It's just a little bit different. With the alpaca, it's got more of a softer texture. This one is not as brushed as the alpaca. I will say that Hassis do vary. Hassis, if I'm saying it wrong, it's fine. You know what I mean. Anyway, they vary. Some are very soft and some are still soft but not as soft. I don't know if that makes any sense. A lot of times you also have to look at the description on the side that you're buying to make sure and see if it's brushed or whatnot, and that adds softness to the fabric. Now, Hassi is also a lightweight sweater knit. This one, it's more of a loop-in, open weave. As you can see, it's got great stretch, basically just like the alpaca did, super nice, and it is a very soft, just not as fuzzy as the alpaca. This one has got less fuzziness, if you would call it that. So both of these, this is a 90s dress made with that Hassi sweater knit, and I love it. I think it's got great drape. It's great for dresses. It's great for tops. It's not see-through, and it's got great stretch. It's usually made of a blend of cotton and wool or polyester, rayon, spandex. It's got a little bit of everything in it, but it is very soft and it is very nice. Now, again, it varies. Some Hassi might be a little bit scratchy on the back. Hassi, scratchy. It's happened before. So you always have to make sure that you're getting good quality fabric from different stores. And what I've done before is, if I'm not 100% sure about the fabric, I will order their consideration, what they consider Hassi, and see how it compares to other places, and then go from there, because they just kind of vary a lot. But I also love it. I think it's super easy to sew with. It's not slippery. It hangs on tight, and it does a good job. All right, friends, up next is thermal knit. Thermal knit, I guess, could be considered another lightweight, like sweater knit, sort of. It is kind of a little bit like waffle, in the sense, and I will show you waffle in a little bit, in the sense that it's got these little like honeycomb waffly little bumps on it, I guess you could call it, in the fabric. So it's got this really nice texture. It's a medium weight, and it's a 4-way stretch, so it's got great stretch on it. I love it. It is soft and cozy, but it's not brushed, so it doesn't have like that really brushed feeling. It's just a nice cozy fabric. I guess a way you can think of thermal knit is like those undershirts that are for like cold weather. So like if you live somewhere, if you live somewhere up north and it's really, really cold, a lot of times you will wear like a undershirt layer, long underwear, some people call it, underneath your clothing. Well, this is perfect fabric for that occasion. It is nice and cozy, and it is warm. It is not hot, like it's not super hot, because it's more of a cottony blend. I love it. It's great for pajamas. It's great for long sleeve shirts. It's got good drape, but it's also, you could use it on a dress, but I would be more careful because of the way that it stretches. It has a very good stretch, and you can tend to kind of drape a little bit and pull down on the dress. So if it's like a short dress or something like that, I would go for it. But a longer dress, I would definitely make sure that I put some clear elastic at the waist for stability, and maybe even at the shoulders, in case that skirt pulls on it and it just starts to kind of hang. I love it like here for sleeves or for a top. This is the relaxed, this is the straight fit raglan, which I love, with French terry rayon in the middle, and then the sleeves are that thermal knit. And I just love the thermal knit for all kinds of t-shirt like long sleeve things, for everyone in the family. It's very comfy and cozy, and it's got that great texture, as you can see right there. All right, friends, next is waffle knit. Waffle knit is very much like that thermal knit. As you can see, the thermal's got, I hope you can see like the little ridges and little bumpies. Waffle knit is got a little bit of that too, but it is wider. So it's got more of the wider, more open honeycombs. I think you can see it on this one, hopefully. And you can see it maybe on my sleeve that I'm wearing today. This one is lighter, not as heavy as the thermal knit. The thermal knit, it's wound tighter. So this one, it's more like, how do I say it? Like the fibers are not as tight together. So you have more like, more airflow, I guess it would be like. See, you can kind of see a little bit here, how they are wider, and you can see it's not as tight together. It's also got really great stretch on the fabric. Lois coming in to say hello. And it's really light and drapey. So I love it for sweaters and for undershirts as well. They are very similar, but this, like I said, is thinner in texture. So it's not as warm, and some of it can be a little bit see-through, but for the most part, I find that it's not very see-through unless you put something like super dark or sew something super tight with it, then it might become a little bit like, I wouldn't sew leggings with these type of fabrics, but I would sew a dress, and I think it would be just fine. I don't think it would be see-through. Again, this is the relaxed raglan that I used with this, but I also have made with this fabric, the waffle knit, I made an oversized tee. It looks perfection with it. So I think for the waffle, the key is for waffle knit and thermal knit, I think one of the key elements is to make something that's loose and drapey, and I think that that will work really, really great with this fabric. You don't want to make something super tight with it. I mean, sleeves can be a little bit tight and that's fine, but you don't want to make something that's going to be super body conscious because it's not going to keep the shape as well as some other fabrics. Let me show you what will though. Last but not least, I am showing you some Liverpool. Okay, so Liverpool has a couple of different variations. So this one right here is a bullet Liverpool and this one right here is a regular Liverpool. And the only difference between them usually is the texture. It's just a little tiny bit different. The texture of this one, the bullet Liverpool, it's got a tighter texture, so it's bumpier. And then regular Liverpool has a little bit of more like a woven crepe kind of texture. I hope you can see it. I'm gonna hold it up here and hopefully the camera will focus on it and show it to you. And Liverpool is a great structure fabric. It's actually pretty thin. The outside's got that texture, the bumpy kind of texture that like gives it really good look. And then the inside is just pretty smooth, as you can see on this one. It's got good stretch. It's a 4-way stretch, not a whole lot of stretch this way, but there's a really good amount of stretch this way. But it's more sturdy, so it's better for like sturdy dresses or pants or skirt or something like that. I probably wouldn't use it on a top that needs a lot of flow, though it is a good weight. It's a little bit heavier, so it sits a little bit sturdier. So it's got more, it's better for like the body con, you know, like a little bit sturdier. It's right behind me, I'm trying to back up. If you can see right here, it's really good for skirt, but it is heavier and it lays flatter and neater and just like tighter than some of the other fabrics that I've shown you, the lighter sweater knit type of fabrics. I love this one for like making, I already told you, skirts, pants, stuff like that. It is soft on the inside, but it's just smooth, I guess I should say, not soft. It is smooth. It is lightweight and it is nice to the touch. I'm trying to think what else, other information. Yeah, and it just, I love this one because Liverpool comes in a lot of different colors, as you can see on this one, and the color, the vibrancy of it is really, really nice. It's not as faded like some of the brushed kind of sweater knits. So I love this one as well for more of a dressier look. So I think you also, there's other kind of, Liverpool is a little bit thinner than the Scuba, which is another one that maybe we'll talk about later, and I'm adding more fabrics right here in the mix. I said 5, we're done. That's all the 5 that I've got. But it's just a really great texture for something that's more, that you need something that's not as stretchy like. And it is not see-through for the most part. So I love this fabric. Alright, well, I hope that this was helpful, me showing you these 5 fabrics. Let me know below what other fabrics you want to see, you've heard about, and you say, what is this fabric like? Can you show it to me? I will show it to you. So let me know below, and then also let me know below what your favorite fabric type is. Did I mention it? Did I not mention it? Is there something that you love to sew with? Or is it something that you hate sewing with? I hate sewing with... What do you hate sewing with? Maybe I'll do a video on that. No, I'm just kidding. I will say that one of the hardest things for me to sew would have to be something like swim. And the only reason being because it's so slippery. So none of these fabrics have that slippery texture. So you're good to go with these fabrics. Get out there and sew some beautiful things. Come back and let me know what you did. Come find us on Facebook and Instagram. Show off your makes. We want to see them and we want to be inspired by you. And then our Instagram as well. And if you want to, we would love for you to tag us on your pictures so we can see your makes. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!